All right, guys, and we're back. We got another video from my boy, Don Shirley, old um, Master Chief. That's what I call him. I think it's Chief Petty Officer to be exact, but I like calling him Master Chief. Anyway, today he's going to be exposing another phony, stolen valor, wannabe Navy SEAL, and we're going to see if he's going to be as angry as he was last time. The last video, he was highly pissed. I've never seen Don that pissed. I watched a lot of his videos. Those guys really ticked him off. We're going to watch them today and see how it goes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the comments, appreciate the views. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And let's get into it.
I would like to inquire about a Robert Gilbert, born 1946. He claims to have been a Navy SEAL in the mid-60s and was a sniper in Cambodia and Laos. He claims to have killed an NVA general, killed people in hand-to-hand combat, said he received no medals because he was assigned to the CIA, and then went on to say that when he destroyed all of his Vietnam-era memorabilia, that he gave his medals to the kid next door. Robert is busy going around to churches in North Carolina, tying his story into a story of finding God to very enthusiastic audience. I would like to know if he was ever a SEAL. He's interesting. So he's tough because he's going to claim the classified stuff. The CIA, there are no records of me.
They love using the classified line anytime they need to try and hide their achievements or their awards and medals. They always go to the classified line. It never fails.
And I can say what I want, so he's going to be up against a rock and a hard place with that, because people do believe that crap when they tell them that.
People associate classified, top secret, all that crap with SEAL, so if they don't question it, I probably wouldn't either. If I wasn't in the community, I'd believe it.
But when I get him, he's going to fall back on it. There are no records of him. There's no record of you ever attending Bud's training, sir. Well, I just told you that. There are no records of you. The CIA destroyed them. Like you're such a gift to national security and all this other crap. But they'll fall back on that. But then showing him his records, well, that's what they wanted you to see. That's what the story they made up, that I was a damage controlman in Bainbridge, Maryland. So it's back and forth. A lot of the fights you'll never win. They'll take it to the grave with them, but you provide enough information and proof that you'll burn him. And the look on his face will be priceless. Robert.
Yeah.
Hey, the men's retreat, United Methodist.
Yeah.
Were you a SEAL, sir?
I worked for the CIA.
As a SEAL?
I really wasn't a SEAL. John Kennedy commissioned the SEALs in 1962. And I went to war in 1965. And I volunteered to be a sniper, what I was. And my last few years there, Paul Ellencutt was a good friend of mine. He was a Navy SEAL. I never really got into that. What I did was serve over in Cambodia for 18 months.
But there wasn't anything of the SEAL thing.
No.
Somebody had mentioned that.
Yeah.
To make sure.
And the program that I was in eventually became the SEALs. And
well, that would have been underwater demolition.
Yeah.
There you have it. It never fails. There you have it.
Yeah.
You were in UDT.
Yeah. And they called it, they were the Sea Scouts. That was a first name they gave them. And all we did, we were supposed to, and I thought we were supposed to, was to go in and survey landing spots for amphibious assaults. But I ended up doing a lot more than that.
And that was with the UDT, though.
Yeah.
Predecessors to SEALs. Yeah, I get you. I had had this. So somebody had sent this strange email, killing NVA generals, killing people hand to hand, and mentioned that SEAL claim.
Doing it as a SEAL. I was working for the CIA. Actually, I didn't know it at the time. I had no clue. I enlisted in the Navy, and I thought that what I was doing was with the Navy, and I didn't find that out until I got out of there.
What? You didn't know you were working for the CIA as an enlisted person in the Navy. You must have been like off the charts as an enlisted person for them to draft you into the CIA unknowingly or unbeknownst to you.
But UDT training?
Yeah, I was on the USS Everglades with Paul Evanco. He went on to become a SEAL. And
I'm familiar with the name.
yeah, and I never, they wanted me to re-enlist to actually full-time service as a SEAL. I see you got your tried there. And I didn't do it. He did. So he stuck with it, but I had some nasty duty when I was a young man. Things that people should never have to live through, especially young people. And it was Operation Phoenix. I'm sure you heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
And my job was to knock people out.
Absolutely, I've heard
it was nasty.
The UDT thing as well. You know, the start in 1943 on through.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't see your name listed as and ever doing any of that.
No, you wouldn't see me doing that. And
classified.
It was.
Yeah.
And I've been very careful, except for Bobby Wilkins over at Hendersonville High School got me to start talking about it because he wanted the kids to hear my story about how he ended up there. And my story was, I didn't take my education real serious when I was in high school. And I ended up flunking out of college and got almost drafted. Went down and enlisted in the Navy because I thought I was a tough guy. I went ahead and got involved in stuff that I thought was for tough guys, and I wasn't as tough as I thought.
Well, I didn't see your name listed in that UDT thing.
No.
You would have gone through training, though. Did you have a training class?
The only training class I have is they sent us up here before at Little Creek before they really had anything formal going there. And this was really early on in the program. And I mean, they'd always had the Sea Scouts, and that's really what I thought I was going to do. And but when they found out I was a pretty good marksman.
Well, there you go.
There you go. That's where I ended up.
Well, Evanco's name, I know Evanco. He's kind of a household name. His name was listed. Did he do any of that stuff with you?
Great guy. No, Paul went to Vietnam, and where he ended up over there, I wasn't sure. But I spent most of my time in Cambodia, where we were not at war officially.
But that was through the Navy, through the CIA? But somehow you got in there, sir. That's a crazy story. Not just a regular sailor, but you went through UDT training to get picked up. I mean, they just didn't recruit you off the street.
UDT with Evanco, and that's where he started. And then he went on to later become.
And then, as Don says, they always drop the most popular SEAL names, like the ones who pretty much anybody could just call off because they're so popular, but they can never name, like, unknown people or people who are not really as popular. They can't even name people who they went through UDT or buzz training with.
SEAL, but he stayed in it, and as far as I know, he was still in it until he retired.
You remember the training class number?
No. And I really tried to keep publicity down about it. I haven't. It's not the proudest part of my life.
When you're in that arena with those guys at these retreats, and I understand the church thing, he was pretty adamant about this and upset. Well, there was no record of you being a SEAL or UDT.
When I told him that, I said, what I was involved in my thinking was the Sea Scouts.
But it came after UDT training. The CIA just would not have picked you up for just anything.
While I was, when I first started out in the thing, they wanted to find out who could shoot and who couldn't. And I'd always been a pretty good marksman.
At Little Creek?
And so they took a bunch of us out on the firing range, and I worked out there for 3 times.
Was that off the Everglades?
Yep.
Out of Little Creek?
No, out of Charleston. They sent me up to Little Creek. So, that was my story. But the thing I wanted to tell the kids about was that you could end up someplace with the decisions you make in high school you don't want to be. And I wasn't as tough as I thought I was.
Well, see, sir, when it's the bigger the claim, the bigger the proof.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have any proof of that, then it's a good idea not to make those claims.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's no record of you ever being in UDT or SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you had already said there was not going to be. The classified stuff is an easy thing to fall back on.
Yeah,
What did you do in the Navy?
Very convenient.
I ended up doing what I told you I was doing. I was a sniper. And then when I got finished over there and I came back, I ended up back at the USS Everglades. I ended up as a damage controlman.
Yeah.
And I finished out my days there. Yeah, I spent some time over the
That's record,
Mediterranean.
man.
But I think they sent me there because I didn't want to re-enlist.
Well, that's where we had a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Bainbridge, Maryland. Another place in Maryland is a DC too, 66 to 71. And you got out. No awards. National Defense Service Medal, sir.
Nasty business. And I've kept it quiet for all these years, never said a word.
That's the minute.
Until Bob Wilkins convinced me to talk to these kids about it, and I did. So,
Well, at that men's retreat, it sounded like you were packing them into that church with this religious story of being in some kind of downpour over there and meeting God after all the bad things you did.
well, I did come in close contact with a God that loved me, that I had run from for half of my life as a young man. And some of the things I saw.
And that's another thing Doug talks about is how it's always these religious guys or these pseudo-religious guys who love to try and connect the dots between them finding God and their experience in the most extreme situations in the military. Somehow they found God or had some type of divine intervention due to how extreme or how violent the situation was that they were in. This is all typical. I swear to God, it's like all these guys go to school to be training. I think there's a training class for phony stolen valor people because they literally all have the same stories. Like it never fails.
Experience drove me that way.
You're going to stick to that one?
Sure. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Any proof whatsoever? Because we're not seeing that. All the SEALs that were on the Phoenix program are listed on that database. I can pull it up. Any kind of class number?
No.
You got a date that you were at Little Creek?
Nope.
Know anybody else besides the name Evanco?
Nope.
You served with SEALs and UDT guys.
I didn't know who.
A lone wolf?
Like I said, I was a sniper.
Can you name any of the other guys? I'll pull them up. We'll make sure. Or is it just Evanco?
Yeah, I don't want publicity about anything I did. That was in my past.
Well, you get it, sir, when you
buried them.
tell people stuff like that.
I know, and I
Okay, and now they're charging for guys. And what we're told is you packing them in over there or something. Doing some of the church things at various churches around here.
This is just a Saturday morning retreat where they asked me to come in and speak to them about my relationship with a God.
Bainbridge, Baltimore, Great Lakes, Illinois, USS Everglades, sir.
Yeah.
Damage controlman, National Defense Service medal. There's nothing there. And there's no reason why the CIA would have just picked you to, join us. And you said you were in UDT, but there's no record of that.
And I don't think you're going to find any record of it.
I know I'm not going to find any records, sir. That's kind of why I'm here. I wanted to hear your side of it, but far too many people that do this stuff fall back on the it's classified thing. There are no records of me. And there's two of us here that know that's crap. That's you and me.
Okay.
There would be records. There's none. It didn't happen. So
I'll not talk about it anymore. I can promise you that.
I'd appreciate
Years. Mine was going to be next.
No,
I served in the Navy aboard a ship, and I've been married to this SEAL for almost 36 years. I've been through so many deployments.
Well, the cameraman is doing his damn job. I'm telling you, he is on it. And I see they got a microphone now too, so they get stepping it up a bit.
Seeing my young boys come back with no legs, no arms, their face blowed to smithereens, not even recognizable. Anybody that would try to take that valor from my boys, it's just really, and then you mix that God story in there, and
But Diane looks like she just wants to knock the fire out of his ass.
Don't know, sir. I think you owe us an apology for that.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody. That was not my intent. But my story was that I didn't take what I was doing as a young man seriously, and ended up places I just didn't want to go.
Well, telling kids lies, that's still not where you want to go. That's not where
I'm sorry if I offended you, and it's not my intention to.
Benefit of the doubt, coming down here just to see strange stuff, but need to clear that up with those people.
I will.
Is he going to admit that it's all a lie?
No, I'm not going to admit that everything I said was a lie, but my involvement is something I just as soon leave in my past. I mean, I tried to bury it. I really did.
Well, we're back on it now. I thought we were just going to get out of this thing clean. There's no record of you serving in SEAL team. All the guys in the Phoenix program, some of our best friends were doing it. My house is decorated with a captured North Vietnamese flag that still has the blood stains on it.
Wow.
From the provincial recon units and all that stuff. So the whole sniper bed, Cambodia, Laos, it just wasn't a big deal. It's these crazy places. You said you were in the UDT. You can mention one name, but you can't mention any others. You give me the name of one other SEAL you served and did all that stuff, then it didn't happen. Correct?
I agree with you then.
Okay. Then
I'll bury it.
My name is Diane Shipley. This is my husband, Don. You can find him on the internet. It's who the military and everybody goes to.
Okay.
We have the records that go back to way before Scouts and Raiders, so we'd be able to find it if it was there. But again, Don and Diane Shipley.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Don.
appreciate you doing
Thank you,
it, sir. And at least that much of it. Take care of it on the other end, sir. There's a lot of people out there, and if your wife and anybody believes any of that other stuff, you know, it's not fair to those guys.
No.
And your service was honorable. You should have been good enough with that.
I tried to keep it that way.
Why make up stuff? I don't get it.
I don't think I really want to say any more tonight. I want to just leave it where it is.
I get it.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming to see me on it, that you cared enough.
Look at how Dunn just looks at him. Like, I mean, he really just scowls and just has a look at just that, you know, you fucking piece of shit. Look, it's crazy, man. Like it's wild how they just even when it's caught red-handed, he still just wants to somehow hold on to a piece of it. But you know, I guess as Don said, they're going to get out of it clean, and he's going to retract his statements and admit to his bullshit. But just the way he looks at him is, I love it.
I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll make things correctly. It's my job.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Take care.
Look at the cameraman. The cameraman is petty, but the cameraman is on his fucking job. I like that. The cameraman is like, just look at this piece of shit. Look at this walking piece of shit. The walk of shame. I appreciate that cameraman showing us the walk of shame as he waddles back into his cave.
To look you right in the eyes and call you a liar.
Yeah.
But that gentleman back there, he got his without us having to raise our voice. We didn't have to raise our voice to him. He was caught.
That's because he knew. He knew as soon as they pulled up, even if he didn't know who they were or who Don was, he knew immediately that his bullshit had been called out and picked up on.
And what I got out of it is he did come clean. Maybe you don't think he did.
Oh, I do. I heard him do it the first time, and then he reverted back to it.
Right.
So we cleaned him again. Well, it's probably something I should do. Me personally, after all these outings, I know why they do it. So perhaps for the viewers, I need to poke into the individual story. I start feeling.
Well, I sort of felt like if I was in the audience looking at that he was saying that he had never done it before. And then he was asked to come and speak, to these kids and at this retreat. And they wanted to hear a good story. They wanted to hear a story.
Yeah. So as an actual viewer watching it from the outside looking in, I did hear him say that, but I don't know. It's just hard to believe that that's his first time ever doing that and using these situations. It's never their first time lying about it. It's probably just the first time that he was actually caught, or the first time it's actually he's been held accountable for it. But despite what he said, I can damn near guarantee you that fella has told that story plenty of times, over and over and over. I guarantee you, all of his family members know it, all of his close friends, and more than likely, probably all the guys at his American Legion probably heard that same bullshit as well.
Told them.
You'll control the conversation.
Right.
It's not me. I'll ask the simple questions of these guys. I never come on. Have you watched any of those videos? I never come on heavy. I'm trying to get the thing. But if you bring it to me, or if you become really frustrating, and I started getting a little worked up when he said it the second time, I'll have to live with whatever I did, or, okay, are you back at this again?
Right.
And then he cleaned it up. So it's hard to get mad at an older guy like that. He's been through a lot in his life. He's probably a very accomplished guy. He does a great job in the community or whatever, but he fucking tells those lies, and he is profiting from it. But that's the SEAL thing as well. We're always taught to use the least amount of force necessary to control the situation. Don't overdo it, because that just leads to all kinds of bad stuff. And I always fall back on a lot of that. If you're not going to swing at me, I'm not going to swing at you.
The YouTube audience, they want to see Don go off. They want to see Don scream and yell. And if the truth be known, 99 times out of 100, he doesn't raise his voice. It'll be that 1%, just a liar and talking down to Don, talking down to the teams, insulting to the boys. And then that's when Don gets worked up. That's when I get worked up. But, we call this guy out. He's been lying. He's been lying to kids.
So as an avid viewer, YouTube viewer of Don's, it is entertaining when he, really goes at him. But at the same time, I watch it more just to see the cringe and just to see the phony squirm. For me, he doesn't even have to go off the rails at him. Like I said, it is entertaining when he does it, but I just love to see how they squirm and how they just retreat back into their shells when he calls them out. And then also, I just love how he looks at them. Like that is enough for me. The scowl that I keep wanting to call him Master Chief. He's a Chief Petty Officer, but let me just say Chief. The scowl that Chief gives them is just, it's a chef's kiss. That's enough for me, just the way he looks at them, because, body language, 90% of communication is body language. So just seeing the way he looks at them just does it for me. Like, he never has to raise his voice at them or go at them or call them a name, but just when he gives them that look, it's very satisfying.
And when I talked about how many funerals I've been to and memorial services, I can't even remember how many Don and I've been to, and I get really insulted. My family's deployed now.
My name's Don Shipley. I'm a
Are they going to the church? Are they about to go to the church and report his ass? Okay, dig that.
Retired Navy SEAL. And I understand that men's retreat, there was a guest speaker there that told some pretty crazy stories about Vietnam. But when you're telling really big war stories about hand-to-hand combat and killing Vietnamese generals and sniping in Laos and Cambodia, you're going a little bit further than saying the word special forces.
We just spoke with the gentleman before we came over here, and it was obvious that it was lies. You know, he had not done what he said. And then he brought up his faith, and being a liar and talking about your faith to young people.
It's not a good mix.
No, that's not a good mix.
Now, the bottom line is how this originated was an email from someone that attended a male retreat sponsored by this Methodist church, and that Robert Gilbert spoke, told them all these horror stories about killing generals in Vietnam, on and on.
And from what I know about retreats, now, he probably did not get paid to do it, but from what I know about retreats, I know that there is a registration fee for the people to come to the retreat, most of them. And a lot of times the speakers do get some type of compensation. So more than likely, he got compensated for his bullshit story.
So we just came and talked to the minister, and very attentive. He understands, he is concerned about it. He's not going to let it happen again. So he took this very, very serious, as I expected him to do. It wasn't a wasted trip. And he knows all these other churches. He's very aware of the other claims that he has done all to around to these churches. And I mean to let them all know. So I'm glad he took it serious, very polite.
See, I knew he was lying when he said that was his first time telling that story. I knew it. It's never their first time, ever. Just like when women tell you, I've never done this before. Okay, honey, sure.
White guy, it's a very great church, really nice community here, and it's good to know that they will take it serious. It sucks that they've been taken advantage of.
Well, all right, guys, there we have it. Chief exposes another one. He's doing the Lord's work out there, keeping those guys in check and exposing the stolen valor that people dare to. I mean, it's despicable. It's probably one of the lowest things you can do is to try and benefit, profit, or get anything off of the backs of people who actually made the sacrifices, who shed the blood. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views, the likes, the shares, all of it, the comments. Thank you so much. And till next time, you guys have a good one. See you.